everyone. So I'm going to do my first of what's probably going to be many, because it's an MMO, so it's a huge game. Final Fantasy Fridays. So on Fridays I'm going to play Final Fantasy 14. I've dabbled in and out of this game for a little bit, between playing other stuff, but I'm really excited about the new expansion coming out. And I've played a bunch of different MMOs and I really like this one. It's also fantastically designed for consoles. Since my focus is consoles, I really want to be able to showcase how some of these games that you don't think of being able to play them on a console, but they actually play quite well on a console. And I've sampled a bunch of different MMOs and MMO light kind of games, and this is really the best one. I'm actually currently playing with a trial account. You can go to Square's website and set up for a trial account and not have to pay anything until you've played through the base game and the first expansion, which is pretty awesome. Hey TJ. So I've made my little guy. There's a bunch of different races and stuff. I'm actually really looking forward to a race that's coming out in the expansion, so I'm not terribly worried about him. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. My first class I'm choosing to play. There's a great multi-classing system in this. Ooh, I'm in a queue. Oh, and I'm in a block scene, because I guess doesn't want you to know that I'm in a queue. I don't know. It'll take me just a minute. I'm using the PlayStation's native streaming because it just seems like an easier thing to do. The game's allowed to config. Oh, let me see if I can fix that. Let's go. How is that? Is that a little better? If I can't get the levels right, I'll just have to go back to using my own software.
Here. Here. Feel.
Sweet. This game in classic, like Final Fantasy, this game does have great cutscenes and story lineup.
Hear, feel, think.
I like what they did where your starting city is not set by race like a lot of games are. It's set by your class, which is an interesting take on it. It's a Final Fantasy game, so of course, Moogles. Drink all this wine. That's the makeup of the storyline in the game has there's kind of a starting story in your town, and then it spreads out, and then everyone kind of is doing the same thing. So the Gridania with the Ixal and that stuff that ends up coming into play in the beginning, and then you end up doing stuff in your town, and then you spread out and deal with the other starting areas, and that's you can mingle more with the players and stuff depending on who you're going to be playing with, which happens fairly quickly in the game.
The Black Shroud, the ancient forest, close to the heart of Eorza. Beneath the boughs of its towering trees lies the woodland city-state of Gridania. Once a sanctuary from the world beyond the hedge, even the mighty elementals, eternal guardians of the forest, could not forestall the coming of the seventh umbral era. However, the goddess Nofika was never one to forsake her children, and today she welcomes another brave soul. One who may yet play a telling role in the tale of this great realm.
I love how adorable these little guys are.
May the matron take him to her bosom, that he may never want. And in his heart, sow serenity, purity, and sanctity.
Set up so I can see what's going on Twitch on a second screen and not have all this stuff in the... Wait till I have a second where I can pause. Back up for a second. There we go. Oh, that's much better. I play on a pretty big... TV. So I can shrink down the... Oh, where's the size? Alright, I'm gonna have to play around with that later. But yeah, I can shrink this down a little bit. They do a really good job, though, with setting the controls up for you. Get our first quest. Adventure new in town. Gotta go register. Zoom in and do first person if you want. Movements left thumbstick. Camera controls right thumbstick. You see here you have all your... You bring up your abilities by hitting one of the triggers. So it actually gives you... And then you have the 8 buttons, the D-pad and the 4 buttons. So just real fast you have 16 buttons, which is a lot for pretty much anything. You can, you have the touchpad that you click on that will hop you between different elements, like you're seeing there to bring stuff up. And then just, it also works like a mouse pad for when you want to go, if you want to go click on things. And then when you're just running around on your own, targeting is done with the D-pad to cycle through closest and farthest away. Yes, the thing she's discussing here, and you can find the opening cinematic for the game. This thing, the calamity, where there was the final battle of a war between two nations was supposed to happen, and a giant dragon came out of the moon, basically, and wrecked everything. That was them resetting the game. Final Fantasy XIV, when it launched, was terrible. And that's why it's called the newer version of it is called The Realm Reborn. They literally reset the whole game within the game and made it like an event, which is pretty cool. the other big thing that Final Fantasy does is it lets you know what are the main scenario quests, which moves the story of the game forward, and you can see her the symbol around her quest icon lets you know she's going to give you a main series quest. So you can actually just not get bogged down with any side questing stuff, which is very good. It's also good because if you're going to want to level more than one class on your character, you want to save some of the side questing for other characters. Or for other classes. One character can play every class. It's an excellent system. Three things. Visit the Aetheryte. This is setting your home. Go visit the Conjurer's Guild. That's the class I've chosen. Conjurer is the base healing class. My preferred, though I do everything in group content, my preferred thing is to heal. At least from the start, I want to do a healing, DPS, and tanking class, and I've chosen based on it, so I have one for each city in the game. Or at least at the start, there's the 3 major cities. And then when you get something for the first time, it pops you up with the little displaying sanctuaries where you accrue rested bonus, and then navigation, so being able to figure out around the map. You get, not within the actual thing, but up on the map you have your selected quest has a little quest marker. Players and stuff. So see, this guy's got a quest, but it's not main series quest, it's side quest. So for the moment, I'm just going to focus on my main series questing. You also will see there's a quest giver that has a quest I'm not quite high enough level yet, so it's locked off. It's the little lock and the plus sign saying your level's not high enough. Here's the Aetheryte. Attuning to Aetheryte lets you transport between cities. It's the fast travel system, the Aetheryte net. Aethernet, not Aetheryte net. The Final Fantasy games have always been real big on crystals. So there's a lot of crystal stuff. Return is the teleport back to your home location. You can only have one location selected as a home location. and when you cast return, you go back to that location. Conjurers are there because conjuring came from Verdania. Basically your class trainer. Task to go out and take care of some pests. Within each of the big towns, you also have these guys. This is the smaller shards. These let you... The towns are very big. This is one of my favorite things after playing many games with giant capital cities. And that's that they let you... connecting to the Ethernet in the city lets you jump around within the city to any of the points you've been to. So, oh, I gotta go back to the inn. Okay, well, you just pop there instead of having to run around. Oh, I just go, yeah. So, that really ends up being very... It's a nice little quality of life thing, because you have to go around and hit everything before you can access the network. or once you know, so you can't go. Now that I have 2, see, I can select it, and I can go back to the plaza at the entrance where I came in. I can go to the Conjurer's Guild, and if I was somewhere else, I'd be able to come here. This is the market quest is good / a little not good right now. Part of what's in the market is your auction house, which is cut off because I'm a trial account. I haven't really seen the need to needing the auction house though until you're closer to a high, you know, like a max level, or you're doing an alt class or something like that. And for that, you're gonna want a full subscription. It can, however, help you when you're, depending on how you level up, if you have gaps to fill in your equipment. Again, for leveling up a second class. You'll see, I'm glad I hadn't really messed around with this before I started. You can clear a lot of that noise out of all of these names and everything. I'll end up going into the setting. At some point when I take a break, I'm going to go in and fix all of the settings. You can see it come back with a little bit more of a cleaned up user interface. The other thing that I'm not going to do, because it can be very good for people that are new, especially if you're a console player and you've not really done MMOs. The Smith gives you a bunch of introductory lessons on like grouping and how your class is supposed to function and some of that stuff. So like if you're a tank class, what tanking's about, healing and those kinds of things. that's, we see the next quest I'm not ready for yet. And if you go to look at them and try to select it, you see you have to be level 4. So it's not yet available. I'm only level 2. But that's okay because I gotta level up I gotta do my class quest. So let's go out and hunt some things and see how combat works. And you can see the little Q means that you need to attack that for a quest. So it's letting you know where the quest mobs are in case you don't quite, able to pick them out. And the little cross next to them is because it's for my class. It's a class quest. So targeting is real simple. It's D-pad, left and right, targets. Cycling through, up and down will target through people in your party, which will become more important when I'm in a party, like for healing. At least initially, combat, it's kind of the same thing for if you're in a tanking class, because the primary function of your class in group content is to heal or to tank. So when you're soloing, it's a little dull. Ladybugs. I have to get the Fundars. You can even see on your mini-map, you'll see highlighted red areas, which are the general area where you'll find what you need to find for the quest you're on, or a quest, and then the actual enemies are highlighted. Also, on these guys, the starting areas are pretty much all full of these. They have the little blue, like you see where he says, I can point, you see here, this little blue guy, this little blue marker here, let you know it's the non-hostile. You can run right up to it. It's not going to attack you unless you attack it first. So now you can go back. This is where we can actually, if we want, we can use return. Has that cool spell effect to it. And then we're back. And now instead of having to run all the way around, I can use the Aethernet and I can just go straight to the Conjurer skill. Ah, yes. Now the hunting log. This is another great... Every class gets a hunting log. This is a neat way that they have to give you experience that you can do without... I guess kind of take a little bit of the sting out of a grind. Because all MMOs are grindy. They just have different ways of disguising it. So we're going to look here, and Trial by Earth is level 5. So I got to get level 5 before I can get that. This is where now you look at maybe doing some side quests, because I'm level 3. I need to be level 4 for my next regular quest, main scenario quest, and level 5. The main class quests happen every 5 levels. And each class has its own story that it tells over those 5 levels. But what we're probably going to do is we're going to go take out some things with the hunting log. So what the hunting log does, there's one for every class, and it gives you things to go out and kill a certain number of, and then you get an experience reward. And so you kill 3 ladybugs, 75 experience. Complete the whole thing, and you see up at the top there you get 2,500 experience. So as you complete each rank, and it opens up into more and more areas, and it tells you where they are. So like everything in Central and the Central and North Shrouds, because this is the start for Conjurer, and they know you haven't left this area. So if we go and we knock out some of our hunting log, then we'll be able to pick up a little bit of experience and get that. The other thing that helps is if you run around the whole town and collect all of the Aethernets. Let's bring up the map so we can make sure we get all of them. There's the map button. By picking up all of the Aethernet locations, you also get access to being able to teleport out of the gates. So you don't even have to run out of the town. You can literally portal yourself out of the town, which is fantastic. Zoom out, and you can see them on the map. Zoom the map out. Let's go grab the rest of Aether Knight. Botanist guild, that's the herb gathering profession. It's an interesting thing that they do with gathering and crafting professions in this. They're considered separate classes with their own experience levels and they all also have stories that go with them. Sprint kind of small cooldowns to run faster. Lancers Guild. Lancers are another one of the classes. This is it for. I have the Amphitheater, I have the Leatherworkers Guild. Conjurer's Guild, and there's Botanist Guild. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the plaza, because that's in the other half of the city. And we'll bring up the map and flit around there. Got all of them, but it didn't tell me I could. Oh wait, I didn't get the one. This one. Archers Guild, that's the three classes that are in, the three, like, combat classes that are in Gridania are Conjurer, which is the healer, Lancer, which is melee DPS, and Archer, which is range DPS. And now I can go to the airship landing and the 2 gates. So that'll make it easier to pop out and go after either, if I need to go to either North or Central Shroud, which makes it better for when we look at the hunting log. I'm going to take a small break. I'm going to clean up my user interface, and then I will be back, and we're going to go out and clean up some of the hunting log and get ourselves set up to do get going somewhere on our story. So we'll be right back.